Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. Alongside Christian and James and my brothers, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast at THPN. Go and use that promo code THPN the next time you go use DraftKings Sportsbook and also Raycon. And when you use their services, use that promo code. It's good. It gets you good goodies and stuff. Um, Honestly, don't want to be here tonight, guys. If I didn't have a podcast covering the Dallas Stars, I would be losing it right now. The Stars blow a third period lead for the third time in 7 games and lose in overtime to the Calgary Flames 4-3. What's y'all's initial thoughts coming out of tonight's games, you guys?
I mean, my initial thoughts are that they got what they deserved. They got 6 shots in the final 2 periods of this game. They combined for 6 shots in the second and third period. That is terrible. That is awful. And despite they did get what they deserve, and they still had a chance to win the game and couldn't do it. I mean, that's unbelievable to be up and get the tying goal, the first one reversed even. I mean, there's your kick in the butt. Go play. You're about to lose. And it still doesn't happen. I mean, obvious problem with blown third period leads now. It's now a trend. It's not just a couple of isolated incidents. This is a trend now. And you have to find a way to respond to that. But overall, the whole game just sucked. I mean, the Stars played really bad offensively.
I don't really have anything else to add to that, honestly.
One of the things I saw on Twitter before we got on here, guys, was, all 3 of the goals were kind of fluky. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I couldn't give a flying crap about the fact that they were fluky goals. They absolutely got what they deserved tonight. 6 shots in the final 40 minutes of the game. We have been talking about this for weeks now, that this team is apparently a Stanley Cup contender. Maybe we need to back off that now, but they still have not put in a full 60 minutes in any game we have seen. Not once have they done it. And it's continuing to be frustrating. I went to the game last Friday during the day after Thanksgiving. And one of the things I said was DeBoer needs to figure out what the heck is going on here before this becomes a problem. Okay, it's a problem now. I don't know. I'm so genuinely frustrated with the effort from this team when it comes to all of that. They played fine in the first period. I wasn't upset about the first period. It was a weird first period, but I wasn't upset about it. When your goalie gives you an effort like that tonight, Wedgwood has no blame on this loss tonight. Zero. Absolute zero on this thing tonight. 3 fluky goals get past him. But you cannot give a defensive and a offensive effort like this against a team like the Flames. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to the Flames organization or anything, but this team is not viewed as a playoff team. They're barely viewed as a okay team.
They sold one of their top 4 defensemen an hour and a half before the game started.
I'm seriously, genuinely frustrated, guys. Please tell me that you agree with me in these frustrations that I'm having.
Pretty much fully agree with everything you said there. Yeah, they were 3 fluky goals. That is, I agree with that. But that's what happens when you get outshot by more than double. I mean,
and you outplayed. You got outplayed in the final 40 minutes.
And you could argue they were outplayed in the first too. It was a close first period, but that's not the style of hockey the Stars want to play. That was very wide open. That's the kind of style that the Flames want to play. So we didn't play terrible in the first period, but I wouldn't argue that it was great. The second 2 periods were some of the worst hockey we've seen over a 40-minute stretch that the Stars have played this season. And yeah, you can't just call fluky goals on those because they had so many chances. And like you said, Wedgwood made some big saves on some shots that were not fluky that should have gone in that he stopped. So yeah, it was. I would argue this is probably the worst game the Stars have played this season, and that's saying something because they've had a good number of bad ones, especially recently. I kind of want to get to some more reasons. I mean, the top line, they score a goal tonight, and they still all end up negative and are on the ice for the game-tying goal. I mean, that's pretty rough.
So you can't play defense, and you also can't play offense, it seems like. At least in the first 20 minutes you can.
I thought Robo actually looked really good tonight, honestly, but he did not have a lot. His shot is still not there. I mean, his shot has disappeared this season. It's gone. But I mean, there was a lot of time. There was one shift where he was the only one moving around, and he held the zone 3 different times, all at the blue line. Like, he's the only one doing anything. It feels like.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say he had a good game to me, honestly. I mean, I agree with you. He made some nice stick handle plays and got into the zone himself, and he was showing more effort at least than the other 2 guys on that first line. But I mean, it's 0 shots. You're Jason Robertson. Getting 0 shots is not acceptable. I mean, the amount you're getting paid, your role on this team, even if you have a good game, which I do agree, James, you're right. The stuff you're talking about, you had good stick handling and good plays like that. Doesn't matter. You have to get pucks on net. Your job is to score goals, and you didn't even shoot the puck. Or at least you didn't shoot the puck and hit the goalie.
Well, and that's the thing I'm more frustrated about than anything. And yes, James, I did see that particular play that you were talking about, but that's one play out of
He did it a couple times.
He did it. He did it.
He had a
all
couple
night
good stick
long.
handling
I mean,
plays.
he just
okay,
can't
but
shoot. I mean, his shot is just gone. I
that
don't know
is
where.
the yes, that is the thing. All of that stuff gets trumped by the fact that he's not shooting the puck. I mean, I forgot who put it over in the chat over here to let me know that it happened, but 0 shots tonight. I mean, nobody had any shots tonight, to be honest with you. What did we end with? 16?
16.
That's so stupid. That is so stupid. But the thing is that's really frustrating is that there were plenty of good plays defensively by individual players at individual times. But it was not, again, it was not a complete 60-minute effort, both sides of the puck.
Yeah.
I got scared thinking about this, guys, when I was looking at the way they were playing in the third period. And again, Chris, you talked about it. That you get a goal scored against you, and you get a gift for the fact that it was a hand pass. Absolute gift that it was a hand pass. And it gets called off. That should have been a kick in the pants, and it wasn't. It wasn't at all. There was nothing after that showed that the Stars were gonna try and giddy up and go. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that like a competitor takes advantage when they get opportunities like that. You can't let a chance like that fall through the cracks. And in a game where you shouldn't win this game, and yet you're in the lead, you get a gift, like you said, Ryan. You got to find a way to capitalize on it, and to not do it is awful. That says a lot about where the mentality of this team is at right now, and it says a lot of not good, in my opinion.
And it's just the full 60-minute effort. That's all it is.
And that's why at the top I kind of specified it was probably the worst offensive effort that we've had, because the defense, like, we had some good defensive plays. The only stuff that got through us was kind of fluky stuff. But if you have literally 0 offensive pressure, it doesn't really matter.
And I kind of want to talk about this particular fact, talk about the last goal by Kadri there. Frankly, I didn't care if it was actually goaltender interference or not. I really didn't care, because we had already been given a gift for the hand pass, and we had absolutely 100% not played at all in the second
we deserved it to be
and third period.
I'll give my opinion on it anyway. I don't think it was goalie interference, just because Wedgie didn't have the puck in that glove. You know, like he got it, but it wasn't in his glove. And I think that kind of,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that kind of makes the puck free play.
I tend to agree with you too. I mean, and the fact that Wedgwood just skates off too, he didn't think it was goaltender interference either. I think he knew that he didn't have it.
I think it's for sure like a 50-50 call. It could go the other way. It feels like a little bit worse if Wedgie maybe had the puck in his glove a little bit longer.
Or if you see like an intentional jab towards it.
Yeah, if
he's just skating in with his glove. Stick there.
Yeah, he's trying to get the puck. Yeah. So it's definitely a close one. I can definitely see the opinion of it being goalie interference, but I don't think it was. And also, like you said, Ryan, I didn't really care at that point. We deserved it.
Yeah, we did not deserve to win this game.
Yeah.
We did not deserve to win this game at all. And what it should have been is we win the game in regulation against a team we should beat, And we're not even having this conversation about the fact of whether it was goalie interference or not.
Yeah,
That
and then it's
that
woo, we got away
that
with
should be the
one.
thing right there.
It should be woo, we got away with one. Let's not do that next time. Move along. And that shows how that's what's so frustrating is that shows how good this hockey team is. We played terrible. We played so bad and we should have won the game. And you squandered it. It's very frustrating to especially see a team that good play that bad, have a chance to win and still lose. It's so that's what's so frustrating, I think. It's just the culmination of all of that.
So interesting storylines coming out from tonight, and the fact that of all the goals scored in the game, Kadri and Marchment were the only forwards that scored out of the 7 goals tonight. The rest were scored by defensemen. So Harley gets one, and I can't remember the rest of them off the top of my head. Tanev off of an intended pass when it goes back behind Suter. Uyghur gets one, the floater
Hanifin.
from the blue line. Hanifin gets one as well, and so and it was a bad break for the Stars on the Hanifin goal. But again, like you got to give yourself breathing room for when those sort of things happen. You really do. And one of the things that I was thinking about when I was watching the third period after that thing happened, I'm watching bonus hockey. That's what I felt like, and that's like the last thing that I want to see out of this team with all the offensive depth that we have.
And it was like bad bonus hockey too. It was dump it in and then immediately the Flames get it out, no problem. And then the Flames dump it in and we can't get it out unless we just win like 3 puck battles. It was very bad, very frustrating.
You have to give yourself some room for mistakes, okay? Or bad breaks. All 3 goals were bad breaks tonight, but they didn't give themselves any room for bad breaks.
They didn't play offense. I mean, that's not even just not giving yourself room. You didn't play offense the second 2 periods. One guy played offense, and his name was Mason Marchment.
So let's get into him. He was probably one of the few Dallas Stars that had a really good game tonight.
He had the best game I think he had as a Dallas Stars. He scored 2 goals. One's a penalty shot that he just didn't even follow his move on, by the way. He just improvised that at the end. And then he came back for like 3 different 2-on-1 rushes and instantly breaks him up. I mean, it was all night long.
Yeah, defensively too is exactly what I was going to get to, James. He was good all over the ice, not just in the offensive zone. And that's what Marchment says. But if he's playing defense, boy, you're getting everything and then some, because Marchment doesn't play that much defense. I agree. This is probably the best we've seen Marchment play since the start of the season last year when he was just lighting everything up. So he was very good. And like we said at the last AGR, he's getting that consistency. He's getting better and better. That line was really the only one that was dangerous looking in the other 2 periods, and him specifically was the most dangerous.
And this comes into a question that I've got, and some people are calling for. Do we need a shakeup right now? I'm not saying like someone needs to be moved down and someone needs to be called up from the AHL. I don't think we're at that point yet. But when you give up 3 games where you have a lead going into the third period, something needs to change. And I'm not sure what that is. I think the offensive lines need to be moved around again. Maybe do what we did earlier and put Robo back on the third line, move Ben up to the first line. Ben seemed to do okay. Robo's not playing well enough or he's doing well, but he's not living up to his expectations. That's one thing.
He's got to shoot, man. Like, it's so frustrating.
He's not
he's
shooting.
given up.
Shoot the dang puck.
And when he does shoot it, he shoots it right into someone. It feels like he's given up on it. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I definitely think you have to have a shakeup there. The first line and the Johnson line were both very bad tonight. And I think that's a perfect time to do the shakeup that worked last time. You need to put Ben on the top line, move Robo down. Heck, you can even move Dodonov up to the second line and put Pavelski down as well. Or, you know what I mean? That might not be them moving up. You get it. I think there needs to be a shakeup of some kind.
But
of course, you
those
leave
2 lines. They had no shots.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
Nope. Hintz has a shot.
They have one shot. Great. One shot between the 6 of them.
That is terrible.
That's crazy.
Stat. Oh my goodness.
And here's the crazy thing: we still scored 3 goals.
We scored 3 goals when our top 2 lines had 1
Frustrating.
shot. That's incredible.
Very, very frustrating.
Thanks a lot, James.
You're welcome.
What a
It
great
made it
stat.
feel worse. The other thing is I don't think a trade is an answer. People are talking about a trade right now. A trade
No.
is a little extreme right now. It's still early in the season, but we need to talk about the other side of our team, which comes to the defense. Harley, even though he gets the goal tonight, defensively he had a lot of rough issues. Miro had some rough issues tonight. Suter had the bounce off of him. And then Lundqvist gets benched for a lot of the time tonight.
Deserved it
And
too.
but you have to understand why he was. He made a couple. He tried to score a goal on his own netminder. Tried to take him by surprise. And I'm joking when I say that, obviously, but I mean, I don't see if you're Jim Nell or Pete DeBoer or any of the guys up at the top. You look at the defensive core and say that's good enough. It's not good enough. If for what you are being labeled as right now by the world, by the media, by your own fan base, by other people's fan bases, this defense is not good enough. It's not.
Well, and it's playing especially bad right now too. This is kind of about as low as this blue line can go as well, which is following the trend of the whole team as well. We got to remember this is the worst probably week and a half that the Stars have played all season. There's going to be ups and downs in a season. What do you want to say, James?
We're still 6-2-2 in the last 10.
And that is what I was getting to. Anyone who's calling for a trade, go look at the standings. You are 4 points away from being the best team in the NHL. This is very frustrating. I'm frustrated. I'm extremely frustrated right now. You have to pull yourself away from this game. You have to pull yourself away from the past week and a half. We have a great hockey team. They need to play better. That's what you need to get to. You don't need to be looking outside and get everything in. That'll come. That'll come probably around the trade deadline. Right now, we have a good hockey team. They can win. They've played a couple bad games. They have to get back to playing good hockey, and they will, and they have played good hockey.
I understand that argument. I really do. You're right. Y'all are both absolutely right in the fact that we are still one of the best teams in the NHL. We're 4 points out of being one of the best. Okay. But the frustrating thing is you've been 3-3, or it's like 3-2-2 in your last couple of games. In 3 of those 4 losses, you should have won.
Yeah.
The other thing, it's against teams that you should have beat. You should have beat. And for me right now, when I was listening to you say that, I heard a couple of, Dallas Stars players say that feels like an excuse.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's the way that it's being said, it feels like an excuse rather than it's okay. We've played well the past couple, before that. I don't care. If this team was like the Anaheim Ducks and we were just happy to even be in a playoff spot, then I wouldn't be all that worried about that. But the expectation of this team, the expectation of themselves, again, of everybody, that's not a Stanley Cup caliber team. You don't see the top teams do that 3 times in 7 games. You don't. So
yes,
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be, Debbie Down or anything, but it's 100% an excuse when you make an argument like that. That's just me.
I agree. It's a little bit of an excuse, and I hate that you're making me take this position, Ryan, because I'm upset too. I want to argue that side, but
Yeah.
but you have to take the wider look, and when people, and I'm trying to pull people back from we need to look at trading people place. That's where I'm trying to pull people from, because we are not close to that. We still have a good hockey team is the point. The stuff to have a good team is here right now. All the pieces are here. What they need to work on right now is between the head. And that's what I think the big thing that you said, those three out of 4 games that we lost from come behind, or we lost comeback.
They were comeback wins for the opponent.
Yes. Thank you. That's a mentality issue that I think could become a bigger deal. And that's what I'm more worried about than purely the point losses. And that's something that you just have to work on mentally as a team. And that's what I'm more worried about. But calling for trades and coach firings or anything like that, you're way too early for that. You gotta be getting to some much worse places before you start saying things like that.
Agreed. The nice thing is we don't have to see the Flames for the rest of the season, I don't think.
Thank goodness. They bring out the worst in us.
Last year it was Vancouver for some reason. Vancouver's a good team this year, so I didn't mind losing to them 2-0 earlier this season. But dang, why do Dallas Stars games always have to be like this? Like why can't we just
always the one on the West Coast? When you give the most, they play the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really scared this is going to turn into a bigger problem. And again, Chris, you're right. Fully 100% between the years. Yep. I mean,
that's only something that they could fix. That's only something that DeBoer can work on them with. I mean, it's up to those guys on the ice. It is my deal. And the right players are there. They have to fix it. And I think they will.
So what's something that you might see in the next game, you guys? Because I'm halfway expecting to see Hanley get into a game win. I really am. I think it.
I mean, the next game, it should be focusing on keeping the puck out of your net. I mean, and just playing solid the entire time. I mean, you don't have to go and score 5 goals a night to win the game. You really don't. I mean, if you can. I feel like in the third period, when we were playing defense, it was really well. The Flames had 2-3 slot chances the entire period. Everything else was from the outside. I mean, it's still, we had some breakdowns. Wedgwood had the 2 breakdowns that we had in that period, and then they get a fluke goal from the point. I mean, for the most part, that was a very solid period defensively, but there was no offense. I mean, that's the only downfall. And late in the game, when it's a 1-goal game, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and when you have no offense, then it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
you can't
matter
get back in. You're lost.
Well, and it doesn't matter if you're keeping the slot clear because they're getting all the chances that they want from the outside, and eventually one's gonna go in, just like it did.
Mato over here trying to give us a little bit of perspective. This is the comment of the night. I think this is a really good comment, so I'm bringing this up. If this team, referring to the Stars, ever gets hot, it could get scary for the rest of the league. And here's the best part. And we haven't seen that yet. We haven't. It's the fact that this team has Stanley Cup caliber people on their roster. And we have still yet to see the best of them. And they still have a winning record.
And it's up to them to do it.
Exactly. So
full circle, guys. Good therapy session. Clap it up.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better, but still not great.
All right. So biggest winner, biggest loser?
Yep, let's do it.
I'm giving mine to my boy, Mason Marchment. Absolutely incredible. His best game of the year by a mile. I don't know if we've seen one Stars player play that much better than the rest of them in a single game before. I mean, that was crazy. He was like the only guy in green.
Yeah, I'm giving mine to Marchment too, without a doubt. I mean, it confirmed it for me when after he got the penalty shot, he then came back and broke up another rush for the Flames. I mean, he played out of his mind tonight.
I'm going to give mine to the goalie. I'm a polar razor and give the goalie the biggest winner. Wedgwood was good tonight. 3 fluky goals beat him, especially the last 2. I mean, and he made some absolutely fantastic stops tonight. And I've got him in my notes. I don't know exactly who it was against or anything, but there were several that I was just like, he stood up and he gave this team an opportunity to win. So he's my biggest winner.
I would argue the last one might have a little bit of a positioning issue, but it was fluky. It doesn't matter. It was a knuckle puck that dropped out of the sky. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Biggest loser, Chris?
I'm gonna be a little bit crazy here. I'm gonna give Miro Heiskanen. I mean, lost this guy on the game tying goal. He ends up -1 on the night, and that's while he got an assist. So he was on the ice for a goal as well. So he had a rough night for Miro standards for sure. For Miro standards, he was bad.
I'm giving mine to Lundqvist. he looked awful against the forecheck tonight. I mean,
He shot on his own goalie.
he did shoot on his own goalie. I can't believe he
That
didn't
was a
score.
full shot.
It wasn't quite a full shot, but
I don't
It was
know.
pretty solid.
For Foxy,
Yeah,
that's
I
a full
don't know
shot.
about that. Okay, that was a good one, Chris. That was a good one. I'll give you that. For me, I'm gonna give my biggest loser to the amount of shots that we got in the final 2 periods. I mean,
Very abstract
6
again.
shots is not going to do it.
Shots the whole game if you want to. 16 shots in a game isn't enough.
That's insanely bad.
You can't have that and expect to win the game.
Nope.
You can't. It just doesn't work that way. And somehow we got the lead in the
And
third
somehow we
period.
almost did.
Thank you, Mason Marchment. And then we blew the lead. So that's my biggest loser tonight, is the fact that we did not get enough shots on net tonight. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Nope. Let's get out of
Nope.
Western Canada, please.
Yep. Come back home for a game and let's see what we can do at home. So there's been a lot of things going on in the hockey world. So we're going to be talking about that. We have switched our weekly, I guess you can call them hour episode, to Sunday night. We're going to do that. I think we're going to do that at 7. It might change. I got to talk to these guys and make sure that that's okay with them. But it'll be Sunday night towards the evening, not as late as we did on the Wednesday nights. Just with Thanksgiving and traveling and all sorts of stuff, we have not been able to do one of those in quite a while. I mean, we've got the Zadorov trade. We got the whole Corey Perry incident. We've got insert everything happening within the last couple of weeks here. So there will be plenty to talk about on Sunday. All right. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook and also to Raycon for being our sponsors. Go and use that promo code THBN. StarCastStickerMarks.com is the website. Go and check it out. Go and check out the merch store as well, StarCastStickerMarksShop.com, for the latest merch from us. It's the best way to support what we do here. And thank you guys for listening, those of you that are listening later. And if you have liked what you've heard, please consider leaving a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Along with Chris and along with James, my name is Ryan. We will catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you guys are listening. We'll see you guys again after the Stars have their game on Saturday for a matinee at 1 o'clock. We'll see you guys then.